Question number 2, Jami-Lee Ross.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance and asks, what steps is the government taking to responsibly manage its finances and deliver better public services following fast rising government spending of the mid-2000s?
Order. Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, we have followed some fairly basic rules that any prudent household or organisation would follow. We make sure that spending commitments are costed, that there are funds available to pay for those spending commitments, at the same time as balancing the need to support New Zealand families through uncertain times. The government is on track for surplus next year. We have been able to deliver better results in health, education, welfare and justice, at the same time as reduce a very large surplus due in part to the Christchurch earthquake, but also due in part to the policies of the previous government. We intend to continue to deliver better results, in many cases for less funding.
Supplementary question, Jami-Lee Ross.
What are the benefits for New Zealand families of the government's responsible economic and fiscal management?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the main benefit for New Zealand families has been that they have had a degree of security about their income support and their jobs through some of the more difficult times that this economy has endured in the last 30 years. The cost of living is rising at less than 1% a year, a 14-year low. The export sector has been growing the last 2 or 3 years despite a high dollar. New Zealand's 2.5% growth in the last year puts us among the faster growing economies in the Western world. Business and consumer confidence is at or near a multi-year high. The government's disciplined spending is taking pressure off exchange rates and interest rates.
Supplementary question, Jami-Lee Ross.
How does New Zealand's current economic performance compare with the position of the government inherited in 2008?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the government inherited the triple problems of domestic recession, which began early in 2008, the global financial crisis and the unfunded spending commitments of the previous government, which saw public spending increase by 50% between 2003 and 2008. And the New Zealand public is being treated to a display of all the attitudes that led to that in listening to the Labour leadership contest over the last few days.
Order. Point of order, Honourable Trevor.
Mr Speaker, I think you may have come to the same conclusion that I had, and that is that the member is offending under Speaker's Ruling 1761.
Sorry, could a member repeat which?
1761. Speaker's Ruling.
Order, and I thank the member for a very helpful Speaker's ruling. The Minister, at the very tail end of his answer, was moving into an area which I don't accept was his responsibility, and I certainly called him to order at that stage. Further supplementary, Jami-Lee Ross.
I'll try this one, Mr Speaker. What alternative policies has he seen, and what are the differences between those alternatives and the approach being taken by this government?
Honourable Bill
Mr
English.
Speaker, the government has set out on a plan to protect the most vulnerable through difficult times, to return to surplus and to build a more competitive economy. Our policies have been directed at enabling businesses in particular to make the decision to invest another dollar and employ another person and pay a better wage. There are alternative approaches which involve reckless spending promises with no credible plan to fund them, and policy proposals where government uses its regulatory powers as well as its chequebook to buy votes. That's the approach we saw through the mid-2000s. But give credit where it's due. The Labour leader candidates are promising to spend money faster.
Order. The member has no responsibility for that. Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
After Labour ran 9 budget surpluses and reduced net government debt from 18% of GDP to zero, did he say in 2008, when the global financial crisis and recession hit, quotes, "This is the rainy day that government has been saving for," end quote?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, I did say that because we were presented with a pre-election update showing 10 years of deficits ahead of us and ever-rising public debt. That is, public debt that never stopped increasing in those forecasts. I'm pleased to say that we've turned it round, but I'm worried to think that the Labour leadership candidates think that they could do it all again.
Order. Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Why does he repeatedly blame the global financial crisis and the Canterbury earthquakes for his record borrowing of more than $50 billion in the last 5 years? And if the government's spending track was left in such bad shape, how was it that he could responsibly cut taxes?
Honourable Bill English.
Oh, well, Mr. Speaker, it's just hard to know where to start there. The fact is the tax packages were revenue neutral. No, they were revenue neutral. And I'm proud to say we're the only developed country that's been able to increase GST and cut income taxes. No one else has actually been able to pull that off. With respect to the government finances, well, as I said to the member, we were presented with 10 years of ever-growing deficits and ever-growing debt and public services that were a complete shambles. We're proud to have been able to fix up that mess and do better.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Why is it that he finds corporate welfare so easy to justify, yet the idea of supporting the working New Zealanders who keep this country going through decent labour laws and fair wages seems to get him into a cold sweat and need for a lie-down?
Honourable
Speaker,
Bill English.
I think, well, the member is simply wrong. This government has ensured that the people that he's referring to, the people who go to work every day, work hard and pay their tax, we've ensured first they get taxed at a fair rate, not a ridiculously high rate. Secondly, that when they pay their tax they actually get public services that work. And thirdly, that they get an economy managed in a way that they can have some security that when they go back to work the next day they'll still have a job. We're very proud of our record in supporting working people in New Zealand through tough times.
Question number 3, the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance.